8:57 p.m. Tuesday, April 9th, 2019. Episode number 714 of UhhYeahDude. My name is Jonathan. This is Seth. Hello, Seth.
Jonathan.
He's just keeping an eye on your fucking wild cat right
What
now.
did you hear something?
Yeah, he's bouncing around. He's bouncing off the walls because
of Pet Cemetery.
Because Pet Cemetery finally came out last Friday and it's certified rotten.
Certified rotten.
No, it's these Santa Ana winds, as Steely Dan once said.
Yeah. Here come those Santa Ana winds again. He was cast in Pet Cemetery, but when I found out that how they spelled cemetery, which is incorrect, I pulled him from the film.
He found out that Lithgow was in it.
Well, yes. It's a pleasure to meet you, to start this podcast with you. What if there was an audition for podcasting, and they put everyone together, and then in the end, they were going to pick two people to star in a podcast, and it was me and you, and this was episode 1 of that podcast. The search for America's next great podcast begins now. Hello, I'm Sean Romanelli. Annenberg Space for Photography. It's in Los Angeles, California. The admission is always free, starting April 26th through August 18th. Contact High, a visual history of hip-hop. An intimate look at the contact sheets of the photographers who brought hip-hop's visual culture to the global stage. That's a little heads up. A little heads up from my lil rappers. All my little SoundCloud rappers want to learn about how the game is truly played. Maybe get over to the Annenberg. Okay? Okay? What do you think Big Daddy Kane thinks when he hears all these fucking SoundCloud rappers?
I'm sure some of them he's okay with and some of them not so much.
I kind of like this. I kind of like this guy. What do you think Cool Mo D thinks?
What's Cool Mo D's real name? It's crazy.
Is it awesome?
It's like a name that he shouldn't
Didn't even have to change it.
No, it's so awesome.
Thank you for joining us. UhhYeahDude, America through the eyes of true American Americans. We won a contest. They put us together, and here we are.
Mohandas Dewis. Mohandas, last name Dewese. Mohandas Dewis.
Fucking good name.
Good name.
So please check that out. Get back to some of the origins of this game. Is it good? Could it be it's just because, Jonathan, I guess I'm a little bit older. There's nothing you can do about it. So I saw the first fucking episode of Yo MTV Raps when it was on. So I saw that. So maybe my connection to the game is a little bit stronger. I have a little bit more respect for some of the artists that came before us.
What are you asking?
I don't know. It just makes me so mad.
What does?
That things, we get so caught up in the moment, which is fine. There's not to say that in every aspect of our lives that there are not things great happening right now. There are in everything. We just get it twisted sometimes without any perspective. Happens a lot. I can speak in professional football, the NFL, players, and we get so we don't think at all that anything ever happened before what you're watching, that nothing came before it.
Right.
Is that am I making any sense?
You're making sense. I think part of that is that it's an idea that's perpetuated because the people involved in profiting from that want you to believe that what is happening now is better than what's happened. Otherwise, what's the fucking point of watching?
Give us all your money because this is you've never seen anything like this and never will. It's happening right now.
The last thing they want you to think is this isn't as good as it used to be, but this is all we have left. But
give us money.
But pay us more than we used to charge you.
Yeah, just give us everything because it's never been better.
So,
is that true?
But then I think also that we have a I think what you're saying is correct. I think it's about perspective. keeping in mind what has come before in order to better
Respecting
gauge what it is that's happening now and be able to maybe
And not
what is it
forgetting that.
separate a bit of the
Hyperbole.
what is it the seed from the what is it
Husk? What?
That's not right.
No?
Is it separate the
I like it.
chum from the
Oh, boy.
I
Talking about Jaws, 1975? Good movie. Deputy Mark Antrim, L.A. County Sheriff's Deputy.
just thinking about how much they must love you reading next to that light because your voice is literally projecting directly into the wall of the apartment.
Oh, you mean next? I thought you
to
meant our listeners, which is all I care about. You're talking about the people that live next door? Oh, fucking hell no. I've been here for 50 years. This is my building. In the early hours of October 29th, this past year, L.A. County Sheriff's Deputy Mark Antrim, he took a department SUV from the Temple City Sheriff's Station where he worked as a patrol deputy. He was off duty at the time. He picked up 2 accomplices, according to an affidavit filed in this case by FBI agents. The 3 men drove to a warehouse near downtown Los Angeles that housed a legal marijuana distribution business. At the security gate, Deputy Antrim showed the guard a bogus search warrant that he had concocted at his home, and then he locked the guard and then 2 other employees in the back of the police SUV. Another accomplice arrived in a rental truck, and the men began carrying out marijuana that had been packaged for shipment. Another man served as lookout. Antrim and his cohorts took over 1,200 pounds of marijuana out of the warehouse. They also took out duffel bags containing over $600,000 in cash. Okay. When officers from the Los Angeles police, the people that were inside the warehouse of this legal operation, other employees, they called the LAPD and their attorneys saying there must be some sort of a mistake. We're a completely legal business. When officers from the Los Angeles Police Department arrived around 3:45 a.m. to the scene, all of the men that were with Antrim fled. He was the only one left. He told the LAPD officers that arrived that he was serving a search warrant at the warehouse for illegal activity. The LAPD officers said, okay, and left. One of the accomplices returned, and the men resumed the robbery. A few days later, an attorney for the business went to the sheriff's department, and he handed over footage of the robbery captured by the security cameras throughout the warehouse. A GPS device was on the rented moving truck, and it led authorities to the deputy's home, where they found loaded Beretta, cash, marijuana. I mean, that's straight out of a movie. You think sometimes the movies are, oh, this can't happen, until Mark Antrim comes along.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a good, I mean, not a good hustle, I guess.
It was, in the end, very bad. But it worked. Cops showed up. He was like, I'm a cop. Here's a search warrant. They're like, okay, donuts, peace. They left. And he fucking took all the weed and all the money. Too many guys in the operation. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like a heat situation. You start have to killing fools because you don't know what's up. You can't trust more than 1 or 2 at most.
You know who's who.
You don't know who's who. Who's a cop and who's a robber. But that's what's going on. That's just LAPD, baby. That's just the police. This is what we're dealing with.
It's a lot of cash.
It's a lot of weed. It's a lot of cash. Duffel bags galore. Crazy ass fucking scheme.
I mean,
gets on the computer.
I don't even know why you'd take that weed. I mean, 1,000 pounds is worth.
What's weed?
I mean, you got $500,000.
You got a month to smoke that.
Get the fuck out of there.
See you later in Belize. Didn't get me.
Oh well.
So that's what we're dealing with. The hunters become the hunted. I don't know who's who. I keep that article with me, and if I ever get pulled over, I say, excuse me, sovereign citizen, read this, and I hand it to him.
I'm a Moorish diplomat.
I'm a Moorish diplomat national. I'm on diplomatic immunity. I'd like you to read this article. And that's what your people do. And then they read it, and they're like, holy shit, it's like out of a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, exactly. UID, here's a card. I'm telling you, though.
I'm a Moorish diplomat here to visit flat Earth.
Listen.
I'm free to travel.
I'm a flat Earth diplomat, so I can travel from the end to the end and back.
Unobstructed.
Unobstructed. Yeah, that license plate is a Pizza Hut box. Fuck you. Check out this document. Sir, did you make that at home? Yeah, I did, maybe. Or maybe I didn't.
I don't have to tell you.
I don't need to tell you, pig. Oink, oink. I'm out.
Increased speed limits have killed nearly 37,000 people over the last 25 years, according to new research by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. While experts remain concerned about traffic crash deaths caused by alcohol, cell phone, and drugged driving, speeding is a significant safety crisis on American roads. Quote, every time you raise the speed limits, you see more deaths, said IIHS Vice President for Research and Statistical Services, Charles Farmer. The study casts doubt on the usual justification for increased speed limits, which is that increases in speed simply bring the law in line with reality, since most drivers exceed the speed limit already. However, IIHS says once the limit is raised, drivers go even faster.
Yep. I'm with them.
Who? So what do we do?
Lower it down.
To what? Like 20?
I would say
25, 30?
maximum speed 60.
Well, isn't it 65 now? I mean, it's 75 in some places. But.
Yeah, I think it across the board, all 50 states, max 60. Well, everyone's going 80, so let's make it 90. Okay. Well, everyone drinks 6 beers and drives. Like, let's make the fucking, what's it? It's 0.08? Let's make it 2.2. Let's party. I mean, come on. If your friend jumped off a bridge, would you do that? That's what your mom tells you. Just because everyone else is breaking the speed limit. You know, I mean, obviously, I can't break the speed limit, and that is where I'm coming from. So it's got no problem with me. I mean, I'm on the cusp of going too slow and getting a ticket that way, so I want to bring it down. But that's a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
If you make it lower, there's less deaths. So that seems good. Or you say we had overpopulated anyway, and so what do you...
No, I think that's... because that's not a way to deal with that, because most of the people that are dying in those situations aren't necessarily the people that are... It's the victims of these people doing things. So that's not a cool way to
thin the herd.
That's not right.
Yeah, families coming back from church.
You know anyone that's ever gotten pulled over for going too slow?
No.
I had a friend that it was long time ago, back in my teenage years, but a friend of mine was pulled over, and I think the cop asked, he was like, you have any idea how fast you were going? And he was like, I don't know, like, you know, it's like a 45 speed limit. He was like, 50? And he's like, no. He's like, ooh, he's like 60?
Ooh, I must have.
He's like, no. And he was like, well, there's no way I was going 70. And he's like, 9. He's like, you were going 9 miles an hour.
And then he's like, it must be these. And he just pulled a bag of mushrooms
off
the front seat.
He pulled him. I mean, he went through his car, busted him. He was...
Sir, it's definite. Then it's definitely these.
If that's the case, then it must be these.
If it was 9, it was these. If it was 90, it would have been these. Got some fucking bennies.
9 miles an hour.
Yeah, you got to lower that speed limit. You got to save lives. Sorry.
It's very tough to...
proof's in the pudding.
Very tough to take back something you've given.
That you give people. Oh.
We don't like that.
We hate it. But you gave that to us. You can't take it away. I'm a child. Actually, you're not. You're a fucking adult. No! You gave it to me. I used to go 80. I'm not going 70. Fucking babies. You're going 60. Sorry. What are we doing here? We killing people or living people? What are we doing? I love it. I'd love a freeway. Everyone going 55.
I gotta say,
nodding.
driving that camper van, it
How
doesn't
fast that
like
bad boy
doesn't
go?
like to go.
Maybe like the dance goes about 60 tops.
It loves to go about 55, 60.
It loves to follow the rules.
It loves to just kick it around 55, 60. Between 55 and 65, it's very happy.
Perfect.
Anything over that, it starts to get a little iffy.
Why would you want
It'll
to?
do it, but it doesn't want to. But cruising at 55, 60,
Isn't that nice?
far lane on the freeway,
Mm.
it's not a huge difference in speed. I think maybe it's one of those. I don't think it's a perception thing. I think it's like it's exponential. The ability to correct
Oh, yeah.
or anticipate situations goes up exponentially every 10 miles.
Oh,
so
not even.
You know what?
Every mile per hour is like 600 more feet you need of like.
That's what I mean. So, I mean, I'm sure there's numbers for that. So it's just like
55 feels like you're going 20.
it's so calm.
Feels like anything
like
that happened,
on
you'd
the
be like, oh, I'm
I'm
totally
on
like.
the freeway and I'm like cruising and I'm
Yeah.
like I see everything around me. I'm
like watching
taking
TV
in
at
some
home.
of the scenery and I'm still watching every single car in front of
Totally.
me.
It's amazing.
Checking my mirrors.
Oh my God.
You know, like-
I love that book. Go back to chapter 6. It's like, it's going 20, going 50
So-
to 60 is going 20 to 30.
The only thing is that you do get aggression by other drivers
Well,
because they
sorry.
don't understand why it is that you're going.
You're like, I'm on the way
speed
up the
limit.
coast. I'm sorry, I follow the rules.
But I
You
would
should
say
write that
the
instead
whole
of painting
world.
the van. You should just write on it. I'm sorry, this van follows the rules.
It would be a much calmer situation.
Oh God, all
much
around.
more soothing process of being on
Because when
the
you're
freeways.
going 55 and a fucking Challenger goes by you going 90, you feel it.
Oh yeah.
And you know it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah. That seems dangerous.
Wow. 90? Really? Okay. I'm going 55.
I follow the rules.
Farm and ranch living for families who love the land. And us. It was about
For singles who love
for
them.
singles who love the land. Farm and ranch is a little young buckaroo right there on the cover there. He's
Spinsters. What are we? What's a male spinster called?
a male
Gigolo.
spinster. Straight up American Gigolo starring Richard Gere.
Juggalo. What is that?
If you could be an American Gigolo or an American Juggalo,
Which would
what
you
would you
pick?
be? You have to be that for the next 10 years.
Maybe a gigolo.
Maybe a Gigolo.
I wonder, is there
Is that a good movie?
Which one?
American Gigolo?
With Richard Gere? I don't think so.
It probably isn't, or is
You know
it
what
really
is
good?
a good movie?
What?
Pretty Woman.
Really?
Yeah. I watched about 20, 30 minutes of it the other day.
And it was good.
Still good.
Nice.
Yeah, still good. And like epically Los Angeles in that era. I mean, they shoot.
Oh, they shoot the
I mean, you
shit
get-
out of Hollywood Boulevard.
It's wild.
Look at all these whores.
Fucking Robertson, fucking Beverly
Oh,
Hills. I
yeah.
mean, they get it. You get it all.
Wow, look at these prostitutes are gorgeous.
What are you asking me?
I want to tell you something.
Okay.
The Barbed Wire Museum is in La Crosse, Kansas. It's dedicated to the now ubiquitous invention that in many ways has changed the course of history. Barbed wire historians, collectors, and curiosity seekers are invited to attend the Barbed Wire Festival May 3rd through 5th. You can peruse some 50 collector tables, participate in a barbed wire splicing contest, and much, much more. It's the 53rd annual. Some people call barbed wire the devil's rope. That's usually what I call it. But so you can get up in there, you can rope and you can ride and you can fucking look sharp, wanky wanky, at the Barbed Wire Festival. Isn't it about time you learned a little bit more about barbed wire?
Maybe.
Instead of just spouting off at the mouth all the time about all your fucking barbed wire facts, actually talk to some historians and maybe learn a little something.
A bachelor is all I'm getting.
Oh, you're on that. You're trying to find that. What was it? What's a spin? What's it? A spinster? You said?
Yeah.
Can you look that? That's a
That is
That's
a
single female woman?
term referring to an unmarried woman who is older than what is perceived as the prime age range during which women should marry.
So that's like 22.
It could also indicate that a woman is considered unlikely to ever marry.
Wow.
The term originally denoted a woman whose occupation was to spin. What does that mean?
I mean the pole, I think is what they mean.
No.
No?
You're just saying that?
Oh, no. Yes. So it's just a bachelor or a gigolo.
No, gigolo is a male
It's an
prostitute.
actual male prostitute. Okay. And so Richard Gere plays a male prostitute in the film?
Yes, sir. And he's
It's like 1980?
very good
Must
looking.
look great.
He looks awesome.
Sorry to... All right. Who knows?
A male birth control pill.
Okay, now I'm listening. For gigolos.
A male gigolo birth control pill has passed early safety tests and looks promising, researchers said. But doctors noted that unknowns remain about the contraceptive and the cultural hurdles it may face.
Interesting.
Dr. Christina Wang Dr. Christina Wang, a researcher with Los Angeles-based...
I can't. Just trying to mind your own beeswax and read it. I mean, are they serious?
Dr. Christina Wang, a researcher with Los Angeles-based...
It's unbelievable. Penelope is... What? What's her name? It's Penelope Isis. Piss.
LA with Los Angeles-based nonprofit LA Biomed presented findings on the drug and an Endocrine Society conference in New Orleans, Louisiana, which we will be playing on July 6th at One-Eyed Jack's.
One-Eyed Jack's, which again is a euphemism. This is unbelievable. It's all tying in.
The pill, quote unquote, greatly reduced hormones needed for sperm production in an early study, the society said, but it remains far from final approval. Quote, safe, reversible hormonal male contraception should be available in about 10 years.
Okay. Perfect.
Wang said in a statement. 40 men took part in the study at LA Biomed at the University of Washington in Seattle. 10 took placebos over a 28-day period. The rest took dosages of the drug known as 11-beta MNTDC. All 30 who took the drug passed safety tests, the society said. 22 of those men reported side effects, including slightly decreased sex drive, headaches, but none so bad that the participants stopped taking the drug. How is it that...
I don't know. What's it do? Wow.
Well, who cares about that?
Okay,
I mean, it just stops producing sperm, so you're shooting blanks. But
okay.
the idea that it faces cultural hurdles after they've been fucking with women's hormones for like 100 fucking years with the pill.
Yeah.
They're still saying this is 10 years off. Like,
Yeah, we better be a little bit further. Well, I think, yeah.
that just doesn't seem right.
Well, of course it doesn't seem right, but we could be 10 years from now, we could still be
You're
like...
telling me that it's easier to stop a woman's menstrual cycle, than it is to somehow cease or, I guess, kill sperm that are being held in
captivity.
I
Hostage.
think don't you just have to go into a jacuzzi right before you fucking have sex and then you're fine?
If you eat Cornish hen fast, you have to eat a whole Cornish hen in 5 minutes.
Pop it.
Then you do, I think it's 21 minutes in the jacuzzi where the water has to be piping hot.
Yeah.
You have a 9-minute window where you're sterile. I think that's in the Bible. I think it's in Genesis. I think. So yeah, I guess we're 10 years off. I guess you don't care how it works.
I mean, you and I will be sterile by then, so it won't matter.
Fuck. If I'm 55 and I'm, at that point, it's either like, I better have an 8-year-old at that point, or, I'll be in fucking Abiquiu, just fucking with my barbed wire. I went to the festival and I fell in love. I entered a splicing contest and I won somehow. I lost my thumb, but kill it, you say. Kill it.
Right.
So you want to shoot that load. You just want it to be fucking. You want it to have no.
So crass.
No. Oh, excuse me. You want to
bust that nut.
Excuse me. Bust that nut. You want to excrete that that potent serum.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they call it. But you want it to just
I want it to be not be so potent.
To be not potent.
Unpotent
serum. You don't give a fuck. Just make it work. Is that something you're going to take every day? Do they know that?
Well, I mean, it just seems like the
sublingual.
I mean,
what are we working
birth
with here?
control for women has a tendency to sometimes, often, really have like a pretty adverse effect on women. It fucks with their hormones. It makes them crazy. I don't know if it's that complex with us. So it would seem that it would be a simpler thing. Plus, it would take. I mean,
I see what you're saying. You're saying the gully works. It might be instead of focusing on stopping it there, they should be focusing on stopping it here. It might be easier.
But apparently, maybe not. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me that it's taken this long to even get to a place where we're 10 years off of this. Like nobody's come up with this, and it's like, well, no, there's no interest in doing it because we fucking pass the buck on to the women and make them deal with it.
Yeah, they don't.
Which is whack, but that's what's up. I mean, that's why. I got good news and bad news in Denali.
Okay.
North America's tallest mountain, 5 hours north of Anchorage, Alaska. The bad news first.
I was gonna. All right.
You want me to? I always say bad news first.
And then what? You get the bad news and you're devastated, and then the good news it brings you back up.
It just maybe puts me back at zero.
What if the good news was like shit, and then the bad news tempers it a bit, but you're still a little bit above zero? I guess it really depends on what the news is. You know?
I think it's bad news first always.
It's bad news first always.
UID.
Bad news first.
Always.
Always. I got good news and bad news. What do you want?
I want the bad news.
The bad news is it's going to cost $3,000 to get your fucking range back.
I know. Well, okay. What's the good news?
It will be drivable, and then you can get it to the nearest fucking place and offload it immediately.
See? This is terrible.
So you...
The good news isn't good news. There's no such thing as good news.
There's no... it's UID, there's no such thing as good news. Yeah, I guess that's not good news because you're taking this thing that you love and getting rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's...
Yeah, so what... Then there is no such... Then if there's good news and bad news is always going to outweigh the good news. There's no such thing. Right?
That's so weird. That's my... mechanic Range Rover. My Range Rover.
Find out what's going on here.
Hey, David.
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
All right, so I'm gonna go back and see will the car start. So I'll give you a call in about 40 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm recording the show, so yeah, just text me if I don't pick up.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right,
Thanks so much.
Hey, brother, I got good news and bad news. I'm your mechanic. You brought your fucking car into me. I brought it to my mechanic. Okay? And so what was the good news and the bad news? Not yet. I'm telling you the story. Problem is, I got the car over there. Now it won't start.
No, he's not. If it was at the mechanics, he drove it. He decided to take it from the mechanics, knowing that it was fucked up.
And
drive
Quiznos?
it back to my house.
Okay.
And got stranded. And I think he was going to pick up his son from school.
Yeah, this is like a fucking...
Got stranded
Ferris
in
Bueller situation.
North Hollywood.
Okay.
So it's in an underground parking structure somewhere in North Hollywood.
With his kid.
The car doesn't lock.
Okay.
So it's like if he leaves it, it's like it could just get gutted. Yeah. No one's going to steal it because
him and his son are stranded in an underground parking garage with your Range. It doesn't work because he took it to a mechanic and was trying to drive it to Quiznos to get his son dinner. Good news and bad news. Bad news. I don't get the $3,000. Good news. You just featured on America's #1 award-winning podcast. So you think you got a podcast? This is our inaugural episode, and you're on it. That's got to be worth something, right, David?
So the bad news first is that 66 tons of frozen feces left by climbers on the Alaska summit are likely or is likely to start melting out of the glacier in the coming decades, possibly as soon as this summer, a process that is speeding up in part because of global warming.
That's the bad news.
Yes, sir.
How much?
66 tons.
What's a ton? Do we know?
2,000 pounds?
So
2,200 pounds?
I don't know. How many pounds is that? Cut it into pounds for me, because I know what a pound of feces is, Jonathan. I don't know what a ton is. Tell me, I know how heavy a pound of feces is.
It's 2,000 pounds.
What's 2,000 times, what is it? 60?
66.
I can't go on with this Denali story. I'm 5 hours north of Anchorage. I need to know how many pounds I'm looking at. I'm staring at it right now. It looks to be about
132.
We're so
stupid, man. 132,000 pounds.
that looks about 130,000 pounds of shit. What's the good news? You just said it's going to melt because of global warming. So it doesn't go away. It just goes into your fucking... That's your Dasani. Is this Denali? It's Dasani. They merged. Drink it.
Good news.
Good news. My bad.
Is that this year, for the first time, the guide companies lead many of the 1,200 climbers who attempt the summit each year have voluntarily decided to start packing out their human waste. A year ago, the National Park Service instituted a policy that all such waste below 14,000 feet must be carried off of the mountain. Quote, climbers, and particularly guide services, are really embracing the new policy and are even exceeding it. It has become kind of an informal badge of merit to carry off all your waste, said Michael Loso, a National Park Service glaciologist who has studied the problem of climber excrement on the mountain for close to a decade.
It is. What do you do? Well,
it's complicated.
So their good news is
there is no
the
good
1,200 people that climb it have to bring out
Thus, keeping our theory, there is no good news.
Okay.
That's not good news. That's just fact.
So fact is, your baby shit's coming back down with you, but 100 years of monster shit that lives there is in my fucking bottled water. What's the good news? Well, that small man is going to bag his shit and bring it back. Okay. So I guess his shit won't be in my drinking water. But what about, don't worry about it, it's good news. It's Denali. So that's the thing. I guess these things you don't think about. I'm not thinking about fucking mountain climbers. I guess that's what happens. You're there. It takes time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's on the fucking free solo and the DVD extras. It's just him like shitting the whole fucking way up the mountain. It's like, this is fucking insane. They didn't make the original cut, but it's 4 extra minutes in the DVD release.
Of just
basically
all his
him
shits.
shitting up the fucking mountain. Like, weird. Good news. All right. So I think that proved a valuable lesson there. The call from David, this news from Denali.
It's
Good news and bad news. We're not thinking. There's obviously got to be.
You always say good news, don't you?
Because there's no such thing. So to me, it's just like, that doesn't exist. So tell me a ghost story. I might as well just be like, hey, Zach Baggins, tell me a story. Like, good news.
Bad news. I don't like the letdown. So I guess take me down first, and then I'll find my way back up.
I'll climb my way back up the mountain. Maybe
Criming. Mountain climber.
I'm a mountain climber. That's where you watch mountain climbing on TV and you cry when you watch it. You're a mountain climber. Why
tease myself with a brief moment of elation when I know that I'm I'm just staving off the inevitable bad news that's going to take me down.
What if you were like, good news, bad news? Just tell me the good news. Leave me in the dark. I'll find out, right? If you don't tell me,
I'm definitely going to know at some
I'll
point.
find out eventually, and I'll be like, this is what he meant. I'm underneath the car. Must have been what he meant.
I'm stuck here.
I knew he meant something. To determine where states ranked on the list of most watched TV and least watched TV, analysis team at VerizonSpecials.com looked at the TV watch time data from an American Time Use survey, and then they found each state's TV genre, most popular TV genre, using search data from Google Trends between January of 2018 and December of 2018. So they had the top 10 states that watch the most TV and the top 10 states that watch the least TV, and then what is the favorite genre of that state. So do you want to know the states that watch the most TV first or the least TV first? What will take you down enough but then lift you back up?
Well, no, I'm just trying to guess. I want to guess. So what?
You want to go start with most watched or least watched?
I want to say least watched.
Okay.
The number one state
that watches the least amount of TV.
Colorado.
They're 5. They're in our top 5 here.
Number one would
Real
be
nerd state. No offense. Been there, had a great time.
Nerd state?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
When I tell you, you'll be like,
Go
oh,
ahead.
I know what you mean. Utah.
Oh, right.
No offense again. Great time, had a great time there. You know what I mean, though, right? Everybody?
I don't
you know
think
what I mean.
nerd is the word you're meaning
No?
to use.
No?
So Utah's number one?
They watch the least amount of TV. Their favorite genre is animated cartoons.
Okay.
So again, I said it, and I'll also say it again. So you watch the least amount of television, and that television is animated cartoons. Okay. Number 2, Maine. They watch cooking shows more than anything. Number 3, Vermont. Late night talk shows. Number 4, Alaska. They like their stories and they're in the afternoon. And number 5, Colorado, news. Now, Utah watches 2 hours and 13 minutes. Maine, 2 hours and 17 minutes. Vermont, 2 hours and 19 minutes. Alaska, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Colorado, 2 hours and 28 minutes.
On average per night.
Per day.
Per day.
Most watched TV, I guess, what would be a... What was a state... I would probably be bad to be number one, right? You don't want to be the state, because these states are sort of outdoorsy and health, right? You'd think. Utah, Maine, Vermont, Alaska, Colorado all seem like places that you probably watch less TV because you might go outside in a good way, right? Mm-hmm. Utah, Maine, Vermont, Alaska, Colorado. Like, let's get to Subi and go out, you know? So what kind of states would you be in the house all day and all night watching TV?
We got like a Mississippi, Arkansas.
Well, we got it out here. No, number one,
Florida?
Number one's West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
They watch 4 hours and 31 minutes of TV every day. That's my kind of state. Soap operas. So let me get this straight. Your fucking state, you watch... Of all 50 states, you watch the most TV, 4.5 hours a day, and your number one genre is the soap operas. So I would imagine you're probably in the bottom of the barrel on everything that matters. Can I say that? Call me when you're from there. If you're listening, you're from there, you'd be like, dog, you have no idea how bad it is here.
Yeah.
Holy shit, we watch 4.5 hours of fucking soaps every day. Oh my God. Number 2, Delaware. 3 hours and 47 minutes, reality TV. You don't want to do that either. Louisiana, 3 hours and 41 minutes, soap operas. Oklahoma, 3 hours and 36 minutes, animated cartoons. Number 5, Nevada, 3.5 hours, reality TV. Then you got a Mississippi and Alabama, Georgia and Arkansas. So maybe there is I don't know. I would just say probably Mountain Dew consumption, television watching is probably, outdoor biking in Mountain Dew consumption probably correlates more in terms of like more TV, less TV, so I do 7 hours a day, so fuck it. But I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
So in West Virginia, you guys are watching.
If they were to analyze your TV watching, what would be the most watched genre?
Most watched genre.
Be sitcoms, 1 hour dramas, or news?
Oh, man.
Or sports?
Sports. I got a lot of news. I got some comes of shit. They'd be like, we got ourselves a motherfucking serial killer here. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned motherfucking serial killer. Looks like we got a Young and the Restless. We got a Late Night with Seth Meyers. That's an odd twist. Got a Vice News Tonight. We got a Pardon the Interruption. A Good Morning America. Where's this boy going? That's it. I want to keep them on their fucking toes. I want to keep them guessing, dog. Modern Family? He still watches Modern Family? Keep an eye on him.
This boy's a serial killer.
This boy's a straight motherfucking serial killer. 4.5 hours of fucking soap operas? You gots to mean business.
They'll fuck your mind up.
I mean, I guess it's not.
Animated has got to be kids, right?
Kids.
Reality TV is maybe like teenagers?
Teenagers.
That's, I don't know.
But, I guess soap operas, they got to not be, that's probably,
well, older folks?
I don't know.
Stay at homes?
Soap operas can't be good for you, right? Probably? Emotionally?
Ask your mom.
They're not. Well, I know that they're not. Because they're on a lot. And so to know what the fuck's going on, you have to watch them a lot. And then that requires a lot of time. And
they're not good.
I don't think they're that good, maybe. I mean, I don't want to tell tales out of school.
But they're light fare, right?
Light might be an overstatement. It's a hot air balloon that's 4 states away. Where did it go? It left. It's gone.
That's how light it is.
That's how light that is. It's up. Yeah. I don't know, though. Reality TV's, that's bad. That can't be good for you. That's not good sustenance. Those are empty calories, right?
Probably.
That's not like a kale salad.
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, that's a motherfucking like straight fun dip. What's for dinner tonight?
Fun dip.
Fun dip and Real Housewives. What? You heard me.
Yeah, well.
Guys, what's for dinner tonight? Pawn Stars and fucking candy canes. Candy canes? It's April. Well, we still got our tree up. Is it an overstatement that we should be watching Live PD as a nation together with our lawmakers to try to gauge the temperature of what's going on and how we might address it? Collectively, as a nation.
The conversation.
Have a conversation. We should all be here for each other to lift one another up. And I think we need to have this conversation. Really do. And maybe we need lawmakers, representatives, if you will, to really watch
Legislators.
Legislators, I mean. Maybe in high school, maybe in a civics class, it should be taught as a sort of master's degree at Ivy League schools, because it is a live look at the country that we all share. We all have to, we're all got to look out for each other. We all got to help each other. And so it's incumbent upon us as citizens, as moral citizens, to try to improve everyone's lot. And so we should do that. I think. To not do it is derelict.
Yeah.
It only exasperates everything that's going on.
Well, especially once you have such a clear window into it, you know.
It's a live look.
Right.
You know, before we would just on Fridays and Saturday nights, everyone would just like go about their business. Hey, I live in Warwick, Rhode Island. I'll probably go to the bar, get drunk, and drive home with a Patriots jersey. Well, that was great, but now we watch you do it, and we don't like it. I just needed to get home. I did it for Gronk. You're arrested, sir. That's not you can't, I can say that. That's a legal excuse. I'm a Gronk citizen, and I have a right to travel. Okay. I think it's really time that we have to do something about this.
I guess that it is, like I said, it's hard to turn the light back off, I guess, or whatever. It's hard to shut that door once it's been opened. You see it and you're like, well, this is a epidemic plagued nation, and that, like you're saying, that if we're all in this together, then none of us are okay until all of us are okay, right?
Exactly.
So
none of us have driver's license till all of us have driver's licenses.
Yeah.
You know? None of us can celebrate any holiday until one day after that holiday we put away that holiday. Right? Can we all agree on that? None of us can enjoy an adult beverage if every one of us is having 17 and driving home.
Yeah.
I live down the street. You can't fucking stand up.
Yeah, I mean, that should just be, there gotta be ways of, just not letting that happen anymore. I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to put a breathalyzer on every key fob in America, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they load them up with fucking podcasts now. It's like...
I mean, you could just, from here on out, be like...
OnStar, whatever the fuck that is.
You can't start the car unless you can breathe into the car, and
Piss.
that's it.
I don't want breath. I want fucking urinalysis. Piss in the fucking... It's next to the gas tank.
Piss into the gas tank.
Piss into it and we'll know. And that's anything. I mean, it can detect on when you've had it. I mean, if you've had cocaine, as long as it has to be not within a 12-hour window of driving. Does that sound fair?
I mean, cocaine makes you a better driver.
Probably, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 10s and 2. What it is, we'll get there, right? I guess over time.
Like in a police state, you mean?
Well, maybe not, yes, but maybe let's find a way to say it
There's no nice way to say it.
There is no nice
because
way to say that?
The only way to do that is to have a police state.
Piss into the tank next to the gas tank.
But I mean, the only way to do that is to compromise all our freedoms and rights, and that becomes
that sucks.
Well, it doesn't suck. It's a bummer. Death.
It's a bummer. But you know what's real death? When they take these guys out of their pickup trucks and they can't stand up and they're driving home. You want to be like, dog,
so crazy.
We've all driven drunk. Never do I know a person who was grabbing the back of the truck thinking it's the steering wheel. Like,
it's crazy.
You were not just driving, were you? Gronk!
It's so crazy.
It's crazy. So I don't know. You're right, though. But it's like, man alive, Slidell, stop drinking. I guess it's because New Orleans, I guess it's so close. I guess if you live in a place where, like, you got it to go. Take it to go. Like, it just is embedded in the,
But that's not it.
That's got to be part of it.
It's certainly part of it, and its accessibility. But it's crazy. It's like people are in a lot of fucking denial. They're in a lot of pain. And a lot of them are just very, very, very stupid.
Okay.
And I think I've never, like you're saying, I've definitely done things I don't know what it takes to get like that and then be like, I'm gonna jump in the whip now. Like it takes, something has to be not not totally there.
Well, that's, I mean...
But then the fact that you could do that a few times before...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you go to jail. Don't get me wrong. I mean, in some states, it's real severe. Some states, it's not as severe, I guess, or whatever. But, like, it does seem to me like you could maybe... You do that... If you're that fucked up once, you could be like, no, you lose your license for, like, you're done. Like
when you're in Greene County, Missouri, and... like a Datsun rolls by, but it has a pickup truck body, and one of the tires is a donut, and the windshield is a trash bag, and the cop pulls him over. Why the fuck are you pulling me over? Why are you always harassing me? What the fuck are you talking about? Your back tire is a donut, and your fucking window is a trash bag, and you have no license plate. Oh, wait. What I do? And then there's 9 rigs of fucking meth, and like, what the fuck?
People are hurting.
People are just doing the damn thing. This is the 4th time you pulled me over this week. Yeah! Your steering wheel's on the other side of the car. We wanted to see if that was real. It is. Yes, so what? I went to the UK once. I suppose you want to search my car now. Yes! Why are there so many meth pipes? Because I'm a methamphetamine addict. Okay. Fucking no. I just think it's incumbent upon. We all need to help our fellow woman and man, don't we?
We got to do something.
We're a country. We're 50 United States. Are we not?
We are.
Jonathan, we live in a small, close-knit community. Our family hosts large, fun, family-centered community parties every year. A set of neighborhood friends have 3 children. 2 of their kids are amazing. They're wonderful. Their eldest child, he's 10, has horrible behavioral problems that are unchecked by his parents. These issues are not neurological. They are strictly behavioral. At the last party we held, this boy grabbed a girl his age by the neck during a game and screamed in her face, "I'm going to kill you." The kids who witnessed this were traumatized. I spoke to the parents, and they ran out of the house with their kids. My husband has said the boy should not be allowed in our house ever, although his siblings can come over. I agree, but I don't know how to handle it without ruining the harmony of the neighborhood. Do I invite the 2 nonviolent children and specifically not invite the boy? Do I exclude the whole family? Is there a way to still have the party without the boy and preserve the friendships of the community? I'm so stressed about this. I'm about to cancel all of the parties this year. What do you do?
Yeah, I talked to that boy.
This person does.
One-on-one.
Whoa! Can you do that?
Yeah.
Without the parents there?
Tell the parents, like...
Oh, I'm going to talk to you one-on-one.
I want to talk to your kid.
One-on-one.
And if not, then he's not welcome in my house anymore. If you're not comfortable with me having a one-on-one, silent, private conversation.
Well, we can be there. Nope. One-on-one means one-on-one.
One-on-one conversation with your son.
Okay. Let's say the parents agree to that.
That they do agree?
Yeah. I'm Evan, the 10-year-old. What?
I mean, you just...
What, creep? You wanted to see me alone? What do you have to say?
Are we role-playing?
Yeah, I'm Evan, the 10-year-old. I want to know why this creepy old fuck with a gold tooth wants to see me alone.
That you're not... If
What? I don't have kids, but I can tell them what to do. Spit it out, old man. I'm Evan, the 10-year-old.
I can't do this. I can't do the role play, I don't think. I just think that...
You think what? I'll tell you what I think. I'm going to tell my parents you tried to kiss me. Now what? Dad!
He touched it.
He tried to kiss Evan, me, 10-year-old, on the lips. Then I look back at you, be like, fuck you.
I think it's just that you just put it on him. Like, do you want to be invited to these parties anymore? You threatened to kill a girl. Do you understand that this is like a huge problem? You scared people. You can't do that. If you're willing if you can't control yourself, you're not welcome in my house. And everyone else is still invited. Would you like to be excluded, or would you like to be, invited to these? If so, we have to have some sort of an understanding. Because it takes, I don't know, it seems to me like anytime I got checked growing up by some adult other than my parents, it was wildly embarrassing.
I don't know if that's allowed, though, now.
Well, it is if you tell the parents, I'm about to check your kid. Is that cool?
One-on-one.
I'm going to kiss him on the lips.
Jeremy and Amanda, I'm going to have one-on-one with Evan. It's go time.
But you know what I mean?
But there's no way that the parents would let you speak to their child one-on-one, I don't think.
Why not?
Because they're the parent. They might feel...
Usurped?
Or that you are sort of... that their very parenting is being questioned, and that who the fuck...
But it's about my house. It's my party.
It's my dope party.
It's my dope community party.
It's my radical party, Evan. Okay.
Listen, Evan, if you don't want to come to these radical parties that I throw...
Hey, man. I don't know. If you don't like bazooka gum, because it's free here, baby, you tell me. Because we can fucking... can shit can you. You ain't coming to the next one. The next one gonna be good.
It's very funny. I think because they obviously they ran out of the house with the kid. They were mortified by his behavior as well. But like I said, it's not about I want to tell. I don't think you're good parents. I'm saying he did something that isn't indicative of a child. He did something that was, that startled everyone and made everyone uncomfortable. I'm going to treat him like an equal and say, listen, you did something and you violated something within my house at you know what I mean? That it's like, this is on you. This goes beyond your parents. You either can come over or you can't come over anymore. And it's on you. It's on you. Okay. Your folks can come over. Your siblings are welcome to come over. But unless you and I have some understanding that you're not going to do something like that on my property in my house again, then we're done here.
All right, I see how it is. I'm Evan now.
No, kiss me on the lips.
No, okay. Oh, so that's the route you want to take. All right.
Precocious.
All right. Evan. Okay. Oh, so you want to fucking play hardball. Totally cool. It's funny because I was out on my bike last week and you were having a really long conversation outside that Equinox with somebody that does not look like your wife. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, it was nothing. Coworker. Oh, your trainer. Really? You guys were really laughing it by the SUV. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'll behave myself. I'll remember that. Have fun at Equinox. It's tough.
I don't think...
it's so tough.
You know what I mean, though?
I think I do.
As a kid,
so tough, these kids.
I
Grow up
didn't
so fast.
I don't mean check like threatened or physically intimidated.
Yeah. You mean
just being like
straight up.
What you did was super whack.
Inappropriate,
and I want you to know that it's super whack. And like I'm not here, I don't want I don't need anything from you. I'm not trying to get you to make me feel better about it. I'm telling you what you did is fucked up. And I see you as like a
whoa shit. Whoa. And I'm watching you, Evan. Oh yeah, that's gonna work.
Evan.
Spin your hat and your chair around.
You and me, Evan.
Ebro. It's all good.
Ebro.
It's all fucking good, dog. You know about it. But listen, yo. I'd be throwing these dope pajama jammy jams.
Radical party.
And you're fucking threatening to blow up the whole fucking spot. You know, I'm talking about It's all good and chill, right, bro? Yeah, it's cool.
Why do you think I don't have kids of my own? Why was that added into the story? I'm pretty sure there's probably kids of her own, right?
Oh, I was
You just made
you
me
and
go,
your
"Oh, I
life.
became me.
You're
So it's me and Evan. You're Evan. I'm still me.
yeah, Evan and you're Jonathan.
Got it. So I throw community parties.
Yeah.
This childless male spinster. Got
Yes.
it.
Gigolo.
This gigolo.
It's American gigolo. Exactly. I guess that. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. America through the eyes of two Americans. This is episode 714 of our comedy podcast, UhhYeahDude. Thank you for joining us. We are doing some live shows. Get those tickets. LA almost sold out that second show, 420. Come see it. First show in LA in 3 years. The Lodge Room in Highland Park. Brown paper tickets. Saturday, June 22nd, Magic Bag, Ferndale, Michigan. Went there last year. Had an awesome time. Coming back again. Going to be awesomer. Nolans, Saturday, July 6th. 4th of July's on Thursday. Essence Festival's all weekend.
Yeah. If you're coming to that, find an Airbnb or a hotel. It's the summer in New Orleans. So I mean, get your travel arrangements going, get some tickets, get that sorted out. It's going to be
go with a crew of people. Get a crew of people together and say, let's go down there for the 4th of July.
It's going to be fun.
What? Brooklyn. Played at the Murmur. We had an awesome time. We were in the Murmur Ballroom upstairs, which was great. We're now in the proper synagogue theater.
Which is greater. Nice big room. Assigned seating.
Holier.
So get your seats if you want to get your choice of seats.
Murmur,
get them sooner than later.
MURMRR in Brooklyn.
That's Saturday, July 27th.
Buy those tickets. Get them now. Call the voicemail 888-842-2357. Share your thoughts. Go to the website, UhhYeahDude.com. We have the Patreon, and that allows us to do this show and keep everything going. And so it's amazing if you've done that. And if you're thinking about doing that, do that. Help out your homies. And then you have access to all the old shows. And you might have to. I'm hurting here.
You want me to put hands on you?
Maybe you could rub me down after the fucking show with some fucking Tiger Balm.
I got you, bro.
Oh my God. Can you work that out?
I bet you.
I bet you could. That's strong hands.
Those strong, healing, hot hands of mine.
I need some fucking vortex, Akashic, sort of meditational tarot healing is what I need. If they could just drop me in Sedona, this is the type of thing where I need a drone that can just put me in Sedona.
Pronto.
I can
get me back. Lay me down into bed.
I could just stand in the middle of Sedona and be like, neck! And all the neck specialists would come. And by neck specialist, that could be like, I sell gemstones. Lay it on your neck. All right. I saw a UFO once, and I know how to heal a neck. All right.
You might need to go see somebody, though, before your little trip, though. It might be good to get that work done. Don't want to do anything that will continue to cause this to become something semi-permanent, as opposed to just working out what's there, getting it sorted out. Kind of having it half heal and then favoring it and doing all that stuff will just cause a compounding of that kind of a thing. You got to get it worked out.
Yes. I'm going to be...
I'll send you to my lady. She's the best.
Body work?
She does energy work and body work.
I need that.
You mentioned the Patreon. Go to our website, buy a T-shirt, sticker. If you are a patron, you get access to the archives and you get discounts on merch and all sorts of stuff like that. So consider doing that. Hit me up on Jesus. I have an email, uyd@me.com. UhhYeahDude@gmail.com is also an email address. Instagram under my name, Jonathan Larroquette.
31-year-old Ryan Bernal Pasadena Police Department. About a year ago, he got a Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They gave him an award because of his amazing work with GUI suspects and arrests. He's gone out of his way. He's met with them and he said, you know what? This is my priority. I'm a police officer. I'm here to protect and to serve. And I find driving under the influence, I'd find it to be egregious.
Maddening.
That one could just run out for a simple errand and have no idea that there's somebody that's been fucking drinking since 11 o'clock that morning all day. Ryan was out with his colleagues after work. Some people that were at the bar says he downed as many as 9 old fashions. Before he left, he made sure to have a shot of tequila and a beer. Got behind the wheel of his Toyota Tundra about 1 o'clock in the morning. So 9 old fashions, shot, 9 old fashions, 1 shot, and 1 beer. I'm going to get behind the Tundra, boys. I'm a police officer. It's okay. He suddenly realized he was in a little bit of trouble. Dazed, he came to, realized that his pickup truck was wrapped around a telephone pole and that utility pole had come down on the roof of a house in Duarte. So he did what anyone would do.
Fled the scene.
Put it in reverse, pulled off the pole, quickly drove it down the street, turned down a residential dark street, and fucking ran from the Tundra. He walked to a nearby Walmart, slipped on some fucking some new clothes, and called a fucking ride-hailing service out in the parking lot. Boom, went right on home. Next morning, he shows up at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Station with his mother, who claimed that she was behind the wheel that night of the Toyota Tundra. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. People were suspicious, some of his coworkers, one of them who got a text, "Don't tell anyone. I'll ditch my truck if I have to," he wrote to a coworker as he was in the ride-hailing service. Later that morning, he followed up to another coworker the text, "Hey, this convo and the one we had last night, it never happened." Oh, Ryan. But you're a police officer. Just like our other friend, just like our good friend, Mark Antrim. Are you guys okay? Or do you, of course, should I think that this is happening?
Got his mom, though. Why are you getting your mom to take the fucking rap for you?
So let me get this straight, Mrs. Bernal. You were at 1 o'clock in the morning. You were on a random street in a Toyota Tundra, and you wrapped it around a pole, and then you backed it out, and you parked it on a side street, and what did you watch at Walmart? And I got a lift, right? That's what they call it. I got a ride. You mean a lift? Oh, is that? Yeah, the app is called Ride, RYDE. No, it's called Lyft, LYFT. Oh, fuck. I fucked my story up. Oh, Uber. I got an Uber. What, Mrs. Bernal? Your son's a fuck up. Fuck. So, I don't know. Good luck out there. It makes it a little bit harder for everyone when the people that we've asked to, keep an eye on shit go fucking bananas.
Well, we didn't ask them. They volunteered.
I guess,
and that's part of the problem.
But we asked them, and somebody has to do it. And so, there's supposed to be a process somewhere along the line where, I don't know, but how do you find you have no idea. They take the test, and I guess there's no way to know that this fucking guy's going to go on his fucking computer and make a fake search warrant. You have no idea that fucking Ryan Bernal is taking pictures with Mothers Against Drunk Driver, hugging and having 15 drinks and getting behind the Tundra. I guess it just makes my plan of live PD collectively, it makes it a little bit harder when these guys are going so hog wild. But guys, I mean, and you're supposed, Ryan. But Ryan, you brought your mom in? That's kind of wicked crazy. Yeah. So, good luck out there. Good luck out there. Oh, shit, I'm in trouble. Let me call the police. And why would you do that? You know how fucking crazy they get, right?
They love to get crazy.
They get crazy.
Come back for 7:15. Oh.
The sheriff's deputy crouched down in front of the woman's sliding glass door, wielding a metal tool in its frame to pop it loose. He stopped after glancing up, startled to see the woman recording a video of him from inside her apartment. In another instance, the same deputy is seen wielding a broomstick on the woman's patio after using to tap on her door. His hand is later seen opening a window to the woman's darkened bathroom while she yells at him to get out. The video clips depicting Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy Karen Call Mondoyan are among several files from his disciplinary case that were released by the County Civil Service Commission. The records show that Sheriff's Department officials and the Commission's hearing officer determined that Mondoyan repeatedly lied to Internal Affairs by claiming that he'd never annoyed this woman in any way. The findings contradict the video footage that the woman took in both instances. These findings contributed to Mondoyan's firing under then-Sheriff Jim McDowell. His case has become a major issue for the new sheriff, Alex Villanueva, since the Los Angeles Times revealed that Villanueva reinstated this deputy shortly after taking office. The move set off an unprecedented legal battle between the sheriff and the LA County Board of Supervisors, who went to court to try to block his rehiring because of the videos. Mondoyan volunteered on Villanueva's campaign, and he also served as his personal driver. So how are we doing over here? Again, I'm trying to clean the streets up, but you're making it so hard for me. Oh, it's David. Sorry.
Hey, David.
Hey, it needs to be towed. It's not doing that. It's not budget.
Okay. So how do you want to go about that?
Well, I'm out of tows myself for towing clients, so we need someone, that's going to basically have a dolly to hang out.
Say that again.
We need someone with a dolly, so dolly can get this.
But do you know who you would call?
I would just call AAA right now. Like most of the guys that I know are, kind of in the Pasadena area.
So do you just want to go, because I'm not going to be there, it would be better if you used your AAA and I just reimbursed you?
Let me see how much it'll cost to do it. Hang on one sec. I'll call you now.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Bye. My fucking stupid life.
Got good news and bad news. Bad news?
I'm not a mechanic.
I'm not a mechanic. My name's not David. Your car needs to be towed. Good news. There's a thing called AAA.
But neither of us
have it.
No, we both have it, but we've both used all our tows, all our free tows.
Wow.
So they charge you
like
$200 a tow per tow.
He's like, I'm in an underground garage with my son still. He's been doing
very
his
hungry.
homework. He's starving. We never made it to Chipotle.
I gotta go. Let me get off this show. I want to get off the show. Come back next
Please
week.
come back for our next episode. It'll be 715. Get tickets right now if you're listening and you live anywhere near those cities. Thank you so much. Seatbelts.
Seatbelts.